With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
Pop culture, Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, we don't do it on this show. On this show, on Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, we're all about small business, we're all about jobs, and we are all about entrepreneurship and business. We're going to be talking a lot about business here today. You're on with Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solutions center. You can find them at tandemhr.com, or you can call them at 630-468-9298. You can also email them, simplify@tandemhr.com. This week, we'll be joined by Bruce Leon of Tandem HR, Lisa Singer of Singer Networks, and special guest, State Senator Daniel Biss. We just concluded Administrative Professionals Week. So even though we're just a bit behind, let's pay tribute to the administrative professionals in our life. Administrative professionals know how to engage many different types of personalities. You know what? We're all one of them. Anticipate the needs of others, put out fires, and manage multiple interruptions on a daily basis. Executive and administrative assistants are the wheels on the bus that make things run smoothly and help maintain the professional image of the company, as well as the individual executives that they support. We all know, work with them, or have been assisted by an administrative professional. So on behalf of Get Down to Business, thanks for all you do. Last week on this show, we talked a little bit about our advocacy efforts. In fact, Get Down to Business is going on the road. We're going to Washington, D.C. to lobby, advocate, and network out in our nation's capital. We want you to join us. We're going on May 7th and May 8th. We've got a fantastic group of business professionals that will be joining us, and we want you. Yes, we want you to join us in Washington, D.C. on May 7th and May 8th. Again, more information about that trip is available on my website at shalomklein.com. Check it out. It's right there at the top of the page. So this week, we are joined, as I mentioned, by Bruce Leon, president of Tandem HR. I'm wondering whether I should sing, Hail to the Chief over here, but we've got Mr. President, we've got Bruce Leon. Tandem HR is really a leader here in the small business community. They are making a difference on so many issues, and there's nobody better to tell us about it than Mr. Leon. Bruce, thanks for joining us here in the studio.
Thank you, Shalom.
Bruce, there's a lot of talk these days about healthcare, about HR issues. Despite a tough economy, so many companies are having trouble retaining a talented workforce. They're having trouble attracting a talented workforce. You guys are the ones that are sort of making those solutions even easier. Tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Well, first of all, Shalom, I want to thank you for all the work you're doing on behalf of entrepreneurs and Chicago businesses and all your life work of promoting businesses. We feel like we share a common mission, and we're very, very proud to be part of this show, and really looking forward to learning a lot and to helping grow businesses.
Hey, listen, it keeps me out of trouble.
Our basic mission is to take the administrative and the compliance burden off of business owners so that they can focus on what they do best, which is run their businesses. And as you know, when we started the company in 1997, when this sort of outsourcing started becoming popular, there was 36 compliance issues that a small business had to work on. COBRA, Family Medical Leave, ADA. Do you know that it's up to 107 now? It's not easy being a small business owner today, and our mission is to sort of take out some of the liability, the responsibility, the compliance, and to do those back office things that they don't really. Doesn't really help them make money, and so they can focus on running their businesses better.
They don't call it building a business for nothing. It is hard work. It requires a lot of sweat and tears as you go along, and you've done that. You've done that with Tandem HR. So you started back in the 90s with how many people?
So we started Tandem HR in 1997. There was just a couple of us. Like many businesses, we just had our theme was been in business since 8:30 this morning kind of thing. And, I don't think we really knew exactly how this market was going to play out. It's had its ups and downs. Right now, we're riding a pretty good wave because with all this stuff with Obamacare and other things, companies are really understanding that this is the way to be the most efficient way to run your business, is to sort of outsource those things that, like payroll and risk management and benefits, that you don't really want to do yourself.
So these days, how many people do you have at Tandem?
So internally, we have 130 employees, roughly.
That's a long way from 3 people.
It is. We've done. We're sharing the burden that we feel our companies have. So we know the good and the bad of having employees and the responsibilities of it. But we're proud that we're helping grow our business and hiring people in Chicago and making the business community here bigger, because we all want to support that. And we administer to about 9,700 worksite employees. Our companies are mostly Chicago-based. We're within 2-3 hours drive of Chicago. That's our model. And we represent about 218 businesses right now.
That's great. And you are just about as actively involved in the community as it gets. And that's, I think, a really important thing to our listeners. They want to be working with somebody, not just that somebody that's providing a service, but somebody that's engaged and involved in the community. You're involved in not-for-profits. I know I've been to your office. A lot of your employees, you encourage them to be involved in things. Tell us a little bit about the culture and the atmosphere that you're trying to create.
I think creating a culture in a business today is critical for any business. It's one of the things that we work on as companies grow. Getting good employees, getting good, the millennials especially, and I'm sure over the next few months you'll deal with certain issues in the marketplace. You've got to create a workplace that is not just about making money, and it's about having a mission and people feeling like they're really part of something much bigger than that. And so, we try to create that at Tandem HR. We give employees time off to work on projects, to run in races to help support community businesses. We have a nonprofit part of our business. We work with a lot of nonprofits. We think that's a good niche for both helping the nonprofits be more efficient, and also we get involved with them. We actually match our employees on charitable giving. We match them dollar for dollar up to $1,000 for just about anything that they get involved in. So we really try to create a give back policy that we think is good for the community, and it's good for business too.
That's huge. And a few of the fun things that I saw over at your office, which is important because you are in the business of HR, you are in the business of helping companies with their HR issues. So you're certainly setting an example. But I saw a few things, the orange cones on top of people's desks. Right. That's a cute, creative thing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the orange cones came about 6 years ago. We brought in a productivity expert from California, a very well-known guy, and he spent a day with us. What we found, and this is, in many companies, this is a common problem. People are working on something. Let's say somebody's writing a handbook or involved in a very detailed issue. We have an open office space, which we think is very efficient. We have very few private offices. And that's all great and good. But when somebody's working on something, when somebody comes by just and says, "Hey, Gene, can you help me with this?" or "I want to just tell you this," all of a sudden they get distracted from that project. And the studies show it takes about 5 to 7 minutes for them to get back into the mode of thinking that they were at before. So when people are working at their desks and they're working on something that's sort of critical, they put up these orange cones like you see in the construction sites, and that's a message like, unless you've got something very critical, I'm really busy right now, so I'm working and I want to be more productive, and that seems to be a good thing for us. Bring
a box of those orange cones over here. We need them. We need them. And another fun thing that I saw is sort of your cafeteria. It's not a traditional cafeteria. You actually have little machines sort of on the honor system, isn't it? Where people are sort of buying things, and there's different products that people are able to purchase.
Yeah, Shalom, it's a funny story because this summer I had the opportunity with a group of business leaders to go visit Google and YouTube in California, and it was just happened to be the timing was right that we were building out our new office space in Westchester, and I started seeing, one of the things that Google does, they give free food out, among other things that they do there. And after talking to some of the vice presidents, I realized it's not as altruistic as it seems. That they have very expensive engineers that they'd like to keep in the office as much as possible, and it also creates a lot of teamwork and all this stuff. So we went away from the traditional like just vending machine kind of thing, and we created like a little supermarket inside of our cafeteria. We give employees a certain amount of money to spend, and what we found is, in our old location, which was right near Oak Brook Mall, about 80% of our employees would go out almost every meal. And now we have just the opposite. We have 80% that stay in. And it's great to walk through our cafeteria. You see people working in teams, eating in teams, even when they're playing games together, which, as you know, is part of the whole creating a culture. They're really working with each other. They're getting to know each other. And so for us, it's an investment in them. And it's good for both them. It's good for the company. And it was a pretty hard winter, so nobody wanted to get in their car and drive out to go get lunch anyways, right?
It's great. You've got the food over there. You're keeping people at late hours. And from what I know of you, you're probably right there with the rest of the team, which is really important.
Yeah, I'll tell you something funny. This next week, we're starting Employee Appreciation Week. We do that twice during the year, a whole week of things this year. Even the managers are going to get pies in the face, I understand, okay? But again, it's all about just creating a place that is we take our work seriously, but we want to work hard and play hard.
Well, Tandem HR is certainly, it sounds like a very fun place to work, and they're creating that environment for the clients and for the customers that they work with. After the break, we're going to be hearing some more from Bruce Leon at Tandem HR. He's got a lot of advice for small business owners, and they're doing a lot for small business. So stay tuned. You're on with Get Down to Business.